What's going on, world? This is your host with the most, Mr. Bro Rogan, and we are live from the Why Not studio. This is the Why Not podcast presented by Why Not Media. Now, I'm here today. One, it's hot as fuck outside, and I'm going on a trip. So I had to come in because there's a few things that I needed to talk about. I want to start this show off with is my guy, the legend, Mr. Snoop Doggy Dogg. Now, I've been saying for years, there has never been a human being as famous as Snoop Dogg. The closest thing, and I'm sorry, Catholics, I'm sorry, Christians, I'm sorry, religious people, this is not blasphemous, but the closest thing is Jesus. Because to me, Snoop Doggy Dogg, Mr. Calvin Broadus, is the most famous person in the world and in history other than Jesus. This guy, from the start, has been a phenom. It was like LeBron James before LeBron James, like that hype LeBron had coming in, that's what Snoop had. And like to see him so many years later still be in the forefront. I mean, guys, if you don't know, this is the year of the Olympics. I don't know if you have been catching the Olympics or if you have been watching it or getting a few glimpses of the Olympics. But Snoop Dogg is one of the hosts of the Olympics. We're talking about a pot-smoking, gang-banging gangster rapper. I know he's way much more than that, but like if you had to define Snoop, the first thing you would say, you would bring up pot, for sure, weed. Secondly, Crip, for sure. Third, Long Beach. Everything else is whatever else he does, like father and legend and amazing rapper. But those first three things, that's what's going to come to your mind first. And to watch him be one of the hosts on the Olympics, I'm like a kid in a candy store. I'm sitting there like a proud father. I'm all giddy, and I just love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So shout out to Snoop. Shout out to Long Beach. Shout out to everyone involved, the Dog Pound, man. I'm just happy to see that some people still like us. But and shout out to Paris for bringing that together. Now, there are some things I would like to talk shit about with the Paris Olympics. One, the opening ceremony. And I'm not going to get into the political shit or the blasphemous shit that was so obvious. But I do want to talk about the length, pause, and the introduction. I didn't like them coming in on those boats. I'm sorry. That shit took too long. It took way too long. I like when they would all be in one arena and walking around the track, like you got the hundreds of Americans and all Ralph Lauren holding the flag, and right behind them the Brazilians, and right behind them the Croatians and the everyone, and the one person there from Belize. But I missed that. So like it was kind of weird to see them on the boat, and like that shit was weak actually. And there's a lot of other things I could complain about, but like that was one of the things. Another thing that I'm having problems with, what's this shit I'm hearing about, like people complaining about Simone Biles' hair? It's like, bro, we can't win for shit in this, and even out the country. But I'm sure it's more people from this country that's complaining, talking about her hair. We are nitpicking at someone that you're actually witnessing greatness. You're witnessing a gymnast do things you have never seen before in Olympic history. So for you to just pick the little thing like, oh, her hair is too, whatever it is, I guess it's too ethnic. is what I'm assuming, because I didn't see a problem. I didn't know, I watched the Olympics and I like gymnastics. I mean, I've been watching gymnastics since Mary Lou Retton. But she walked around with that little boy-ass fro. I don't recall people talking shit about that. But now, like, Simone is the face of the Olympics, and a certain group of people have something to say. And when I say a certain group, I'm not talking about an ethnic group or a race. I'm just talking about an ignorant group. So I don't know if it's black people, white people, Asians. I'm just reading the headlines, and I'm hearing people complain, which is just absolutely atrocious. It's just embarrassing. Another thing, the Olympics I want to speak of. What's going on with that the boxing? I don't know if you looked at the boxing, there was a clip of two women boxers fighting, and the woman from Italy took a shot to the face and immediately quit. And then there was like controversy saying that the lady she was fighting against may have been born a man. Is that true? Like, at what point are we gonna say, come on, bro? No. I personally don't care what your decision in life is. You can be trans or bi, gay, straight. I don't give a flying fruit. Choose how you want if you're grown. If you're grown, do as thou wilt. However, I don't think a man or a I don't even know how to state this without offending someone. But like, I think if you were born a man, you shouldn't be able to box against a woman. I'm sorry. Like, no matter no matter what pills you take for your hormones, I don't care. I love everyone. However, me as a man, I know, even if I decided today, like, I want to identify as a woman and I go through the whole thing, I still have, you see this right here? I still have that man strength, and I'm strong as shit. And I know personally, me, if I just decided to be a girl, and I still got that man power. So I just in certain things, I think it's not fair. Like, that's not fair. Like, she still has that strength she was born with. So, like, that's something, I hope I'm wrong, but that's what they're saying, that she was born a guy. And that girl says she's never been punched that hard in her life, and she quit in the middle of the match, 42 seconds in. So, and she failed, like, a test. Like, she had X and Y chromosomes, so basically it was a guy born originally a man, but now identify as a woman that's boxing against women. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Like, are we going to start seeing that in the WNBA now? Or is that already allowed now? Because I don't really follow that sport that good. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just talking shit, creating. But like I said, I love everyone. As a matter of fact, the new slogan for do whatever you want is, why not? I know people say do as you please, do as thou wilt, and we all live by those rules. But the new do as thou wilt will be, why not? Hey, why not? And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on TikTok at _why not pod. Also, follow us on Instagram at _why not pod. Hey, and if you're interested in being a guest on the show, man, I might have some room. I don't know. We kind of booked, but you can DM us on Instagram, and also follow me too, man. Follow _Bro Rogan, man, so I can interact with the fans personally. So if you're a fan of the show and you want to interact with me and tell me how much of an asshole I am, or tell me how much time I take talking about myself and not allowing guests, be free to do it. Follow me too. Now, I'm looking at my board over there. I'm getting old. Oh, shit. So, yesterday, I'm at one of my favorite bars, and I'm not gonna tell you motherfuckers where it's at, but I'm there chopping it up with the guys, the normals, the usual suspects that's in there, and Olympic handball was on the television, which I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even know what the fuck sport that was, because I'm like, because the handball that I'm used to is like the handball you see guys playing at Venice Beach, rest in peace to Chuck, or the handball you see in a pen. So it's like the little blue ball, and you slap it, bah, bah, handball. But this was totally different. This was played on a basketball court with soccer goals, with a miniature volleyball, and it had absolutely no rules. I was sitting there, I'm like, what the fuck are the rules? And like, I could not understand it. And me being an arrogant ex-athlete, I was like, bro, there's no way. If this shit was a sport played when we were in high school, college, nigga, we would have dominated. We would have dominated that sport. It's like, bro, first of all, who the fuck's gonna, because when I say there's no rules, literally, the gals and guys were running up and down the court. You didn't have to dribble the ball. There was no shot clock, and you had this big-ass goal with a little-ass ball. So I'm like, bro, imagine a team full of LeBrons. Imagine that. Them niggas would have been running up and down. It would have been 1,002 playing against these other countries, honestly. And I'm not saying that we're better. We're just more athletic. And something that looked like a sport, I would be a retired Hall of Famer had I played that sport, honestly. And if any of you guys watching that plays that sport that take offense to this, tell me where you want to meet up. I'll bring 4 of my friends, some of my old friends from high school or college. We'll meet up and we'll play handball with those rules, with no rules, and on that court. Because I'm going to tell you like this. That looked like the easiest shit to me. It basically looked like if I'm trying to teach my toddler basketball on a Nerf court. I'm not going to dribble the Nerf ball. I'm going to run up and down my living room, and I'm going to power throw it through the goddamn goal. And that's what it looked. It looked so easy. It didn't look like something that should be in Olympics, but I may just be a hater and don't know about it. Maybe I need to go watch it live. I honestly do. Because I may be wrong. These might be some of the greatest athletes ever. But I tell you one thing, it's not lacrosse. Lacrosse, I watched that live. That takes skill because, one, you have the cup, and you have to catch it. You have to throw it. But this shit, man, it's like you couldn't tackle the person like rugby. You couldn't chalk block. You couldn't do shit. It was like you just running around with the guy. I was like, wait, you can't block the shot? The only person that can block is the goaltender? I'm like, bro, this seems like the easiest shit. Where do I sign up? And how much do they pay? Shit, I love to go pro doing some shit at 40. You know what I'm saying? That shit would be fun as shit. But, yeah, man, we were sitting back, and I had the whole bar laughing because, like, one of the guys looked over to me. He was like, bro, I would love to hear you commentate this sport. I was like, bro, I will be I will be canceled within 2 minutes because half the shit that I was saying about the sport, I definitely can't repeat on this. Hell no. But shout out to those guys. Some of those dudes are going to get gold medals. Shout out to the 4x4, let me see. Someone won a medal just now. I don't know who it was. I know it was the Americans. I just don't know what sport because I keep getting notifications on my phone every time we win gold. So shout out to America. Shout out to the Olympics. There's a few other things I want to touch on. I was watching Vlad TV, and his guest was MC8. Shout out to the legend MC8, Compton's Most Wanted. Gia. But a question, he asked him a question. He asked who was more influential in LA rap, YG or Draco? Now, at first I thought that was an easy answer, but then I thought about it. And I might offend people because my takes on things be a little different than the norm because one, I am one of those guys. I am really, really, really stuck in my ways. I tend to not accept change, but jokingly, if I like something, I'm gonna continue to like it, and I'm not gonna try something new. If I like something, it's just I'm sorry. Like I've eaten at Wendy's maybe 1,000 times in my life, and I promise to God, I have never ordered a Wendy's burger. One, who the fuck wants a square patty? That's the weirdest shit ever. What the fuck? Why the fuck? Why are y'all doing this? But two, the main reason is the number 6 spicy chicken sandwich is so goddamn good. Especially when you order it with just cheese and lettuce and you get the barbecue sauce and put it on there. Oh, my God. But why would I not get that knowing that I love it? So every time that I have been to Wendy's, I have only ordered the number 6 spicy chicken sandwich with cheese and lettuce only. So I'm kind of like that with a lot of things. So, like, when they asked that question, I thought about it because I remember when I first heard YG, what Tooted and Booted. One of our niece at the time, she was, Ureli was probably 12 maybe, 11, and she was playing that song. And you got to remember, I'm coming out of the golden era of hip-hop where, like, you had to rap. You know what I'm saying? It was like everybody was trying to outdo one another, one up each one. So, like, raps kind of, the verses were a lot more, I don't want to be rude, but a lot more intricate, more good. It wasn't so basic. So when I heard that song, one, I was like, this sounds like a song you would sing to your kid when you rocking them to sleep. Like, what is that called? When you nursery rhyme. It sounded like a nursery rhyme. I'm not gonna lie. And then I started hearing that name a lot more. And then I had some friends who was putting me up on him, and I'm like, okay. But then I heard Nipsey, rest in peace. He had a song he did with him, and I heard it for the first time, hanging out with some of my friends, and they were like, and I was like, I never forget, bro. I hate to admit this, but I remember leaving the spot where they let us hear the song. And I looked at my cousin. I said, "Is this nigga serious?" I said, "Hey, this can't be serious, right?" Because I heard, "Bitch, you broke. Shut up. Don't talk to me. Get your bread up." And at the time, I'm like, yo, no. They can't be serious with this, right? I honestly thought they were joking because I was like, nah, these niggas, they're not rapping this. Like, they're not putting out no song with a hook this simple. But you already know how it goes. I listened. Then I listened again. Then it started to make sense to me. Oh, this is where rap is going into now. So don't be stuck in your 90s era, nigga. It is 2005, 2006. How the fuck are you still talking about the 90s? And then I realized, yeah, maybe it's time to start embracing other forms of this art. Like, you can't, everybody not, the hip, the hop, the hibbity, the hibbity, that, which that, I was not into that kind of rap. Like, that early shit I thought was whack, but that's neither here nor there. But I had to embrace the fact that rap was changing. So I started listening more, and then My Brazy Life came out, YG's first album. And I thought it was phenomenal. From start, no, actually before that came out, it was a song, and I'm gonna ride with me and my niggas. My niggas, my nigga. And the minute I heard that song, I said, that's a smash hit. And then that introduced me to Mustard. And then I heard I'm Different. So I started becoming a Mustard fan. Then I was told that Mustard was basically the engine behind YG. So now I'm listening to YG, really listening. And My Brazy Life came out, and that shit blew me away because I was like, that shit was hard. It was dope. Every song. And then I started to realize, oh, this is where rap is now. It's like it's the style kind of slowed up now, where it's like I'm not like trying to confuse you with metaphors and like get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Get straight to the point. So me being an LA nigga, I already know how we are. Like, yeah, we never once rap like that, you know. Even though we could bar a nigga up. Shout out to Farside, shout out to Souls of Mischief, shout out to Razzcast. We can bar you up, but like we never was like on that trying to confuse you with the metaphors. And I walked through the door and the floor and the floor and the store. So like YG basically was doing what we do here. And then I started listening, and I became a fucking huge YG fan. Huge. But I honestly gave YG the crown as far as the way rap music is. Like, before the Migos came out with their style, I thought everyone sounded like YG. I really did. And that's West Coast, down south. I thought niggas sounded like YG. Even when I heard Young Jeezy, and I love Jeezy, it sounded like a Southern YG to me, you know, without all the ad-libs. But there's a guy who I used to hear a lot about. I heard so much about Draco, and me being the old head, I didn't know anything about the Sting Team. I didn't. I found out about Draco once he was released from jail. Like, when he was out, when he was Mr. Get Dough, I never heard any of that shit. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I didn't know Catchy. I didn't know any of that stuff. But when he got out of jail, I started watching a lot of his interviews because I thought the story was interesting. Like, he beat 2 murders. But me, I also like to read comments when I'm watching videos. And so I started reading the comments, and a lot of the comments were, Mr. L.A., the king of L.A., he got everyone. And then I'm like, why is everyone saying that everyone mimics him? I had no idea what they meant by that. But I didn't know about a lot of the guys coming up under Draco. And I'm not just talking about guys from the Sting Team. I'm just talking about guys in the city. Like, I didn't know Blue Bucks Clan. I didn't know Shoreline Mafia. I didn't even know O3 Greedo. So I started listening, and I'm like, fuck. Like, there are some similarities. Then I started hearing Duffy's and these guys. I'm like, oh, and Rimbles. And then I started reading them comments. I'm like, oh. Then I start, I do my research, bro. I start researching and listening to the old stuff, and I realized, man, this nigga actually fathered a whole style. Like, the style that he rapped with was a style I never heard anyone rap. Never. And when I finally came across the Impatient freestyle, which he did before he went to jail, I said, oh, now I see. Had I known about that song before he went to jail, I would have known about Draco. Because that was one of those songs where I was like, oh, the minute you hear it, you're like, oh, yeah, I like this nigga. I like this shit. So, but when I started hearing his flow and then I'm like, oh, okay, now I see what they meant when they said Draco fathered the whole style in L.A. Because I could see he had his own style. No one was rapping like that. Not even YG. YG's style was completely different. And then I started hearing the other guys, and I know everyone has their own thing. Shout out to everyone's career, but like, I can hear the influence of Draco in a lot of niggas' music. So Me personally, if I had to pick between the two, who was more influential in LA, I would have to say Draco. I would have to give it to Draco. Only because, like, I don't know what it is with LA artists now, but we don't break LA artists here in LA anymore. That's why I'm glad we have someone like Dejan Paul. Because, like, and this is a shot at Power 106, 92, all of you radio stations, all you DJs, you niggas love Atlanta. Y'all will play every fucking song from every Atlanta rapper or every Atlanta singer or every fucking Canadian rapper. But as far as breaking LA rappers, man, only niggas doing that is the LA Leakers and Dejan Paul. But we don't break rappers anymore. So it's like, maybe there is guys out here who never even took the styles from either one of these guys. But the reason we only have those two guys in the category is because, one, YG is the biggest thing on the West Coast. Everyone knows that when it comes to rap. There's no rapper bigger than a YG. I'm sorry. There's not. Like, we're talking about, I don't know how many millions of and I'm just talking about record sales and radio play. I'm not saying he's the best, but I'm just saying, like, come on, bro. He got songs with Nicki Minaj, Drake. That's all I have to say. But all we have to choose from is YG and Draco. And Draco momentum was getting so big. Had he not been murdered, bro, he would be everywhere right now. So for them to only have those two in conversations on Vlad and the other platform, it's a serious question, and I'm going to have to go with Draco because I really see a guy who is the father of a whole style that I see and hear every day now. Like, there's not too many people that I listen to, new rappers, where I'm like, that nigga sound like YG. There's a few, believe me, there's a few of you niggas. But like Draco, oh my God, there's so many Draco clones. Oh, I would love to say some names, but hey, if that's what's getting you your dough, man, I ain't gonna hate on you. But other than that, man, I just wish everyone a happy mid-year. You know, this is no disrespect to any of the rappers here in Los Angeles. This is no disrespect to any of the DJs. Niggas need to get better, though. Y'all need to hire some. Y'all need to diversify in these goddamn radio stations. Maybe that's the problem. But that's my take. And if I offended anyone with my Olympic take, I'm only going off what I'm reading. This is the headlines in the news right now as far as the boxer being born man. I didn't mean that in no derogatory term. You guys know me. Like I said, the new term is now why not. I don't hate anyone. Do as thou wilt. And that's about it, bro. I'm going on vacation. I'll be back. We got a lot going on with Why Not Media. I want you guys to go ahead and check out a single that we just released, Who I'ma Call, by the big homie 4 Extra. I'm saying the big homie.